Hey guys, so I have a bit of a crazy story to tell you. I have started dating again. My friends sort of encouraged it and were like, you know, it's not even about finding a partner right now, it's just to get out and socialize and see what's out there. And I was like, alright, well, let's do that. And so my friends were like, you know what you should do? You should try Tinder. Safe to say I don't really use that at all anymore. Guys, question of the video, can you beat this story? So this was my first date since leaving my ex, and I feel like it's one of those extreme cases. So it was Tinder, never met the guy before, decided to meet for dinner in a public place. What could go wrong? Pretty much everything went wrong. Okay, so I get there and he's like, oh cool, what do you want to drink? And I was like, oh, I might just have like a wine, or a white wine or something like that. And he goes, no, I drink red wine. We're going to drink red wine. I was like, I'm sorry, what? So I ended up getting my own drink because he was like crazy. And me not being on a date in 10 years, I was like, maybe that's normal, I'll just stick around a little bit. It honestly, red flags were going in my head like, I don't think this is normal. We were eating during our meal and just, it was super intense conversation. He was like, how many kids do you want to have? If you were to get married, where would you want to get married? Would you want to get married to me? This is what I like. He was telling me all sorts of weird sexual things he was into, and I'm just trying to eat my salt and pepper calamari. By that stage, I was like, okay, this guy is a joke. Like, am I on punked? It was just really weird. Like, he was extreme, and he was just like, I'm moving to this place, would you move with me? And I'm like, literally, dude, we just met. Calm down! So yeah, that happened, and after all those questions, he was like, oh yeah, come home with me, you know, have a really good time. And well, A, I did not want to go home with him because he was woo crazy, and two, like, I had work the next morning. There was no way I was going to go home with him in the first place. And three, it's our first date, like, no. So I was all polite and I was like, oh look, I've got work, like I can't. And he just lost it. And by lost it, I mean he was yelling at me. He's like, I spent all this money on dinner and you're not going to come home with me? And I was like, no, I'm not. And all these people in the restaurant were just looking at in shock at this guy who was just going off at me. So I just grabbed my stuff and I went, yep, I just, bye. And at the time, I was working as a receptionist, and I never actually told him where I worked. But what I did tell him was what industry I was in. Next day at work, I'm on reception. I answer the phone because that's my job, and he rings me. At the time, I wasn't like, how does he know where I work? I was like, it's him. So he rang to apologize, and he was like, look, I've been drinking a little bit. My behavior's usually not that bad. Like, I'd really like to see you again. I just hung up. Like, I didn't know what to do. So that was my worst Tinder date. I don't think you can beat that. He went to hit me. He was telling me that we were going to get married and have children, and then he wouldn't let me drink what I wanted to drink. Like, talk about controlling. That's another thing. He did tell me he was controlling. Yeah, I should have picked that up. So yeah, guys, I feel like after that date, it couldn't really get much worse. Like, I feel like I saw the extreme worst side of dating. And I said to my friends, I was like, is that what dating's like? Because I'm gonna be single forever. And they were like, Alana, no, this is extreme. Like, I've never had that happen. And I was like, well, makes a good story, doesn't it? You always have to look on the bright side. And I have to say, guys, if you ever date and you want to go on your own, like, I've been on a date with my friends sitting at another table, and that was the date after the extreme date, because I was like, I am not getting punched in the face. Okay? So the advice I have for you guys is, if you're gonna date someone, meet in a public place. If you don't know them and your friends are free, just try and get them to sit in the same area. Like, maybe they can have dinner with another friend, just so you have someone you know around you. And three, just, I don't even know, just don't, I don't want to say don't use Tinder because I know a lot of success stories, but just be careful who you meet. Like, if you have a gut instinct and you think they're a bit weird and they don't let you order your own drink, like, it's not a good sign. So yeah, tell me your worst Tinder date stories. I would love to hear them. Okay, bye.